listening to Everyday Engineering, the City of Madison's engineering podcast where we talk about infrastructure. Complex topics explained simply, from the water that flows down your drain to the rain and snow that drains into the lakes. By way the curbs and streets we design. City engineering touches your life in so many ways, explained right now in Everyday Engineering. Life's Blueprint, an episode focusing on the career journey of one of our staff members to share more about them, how they got here, and hopefully some information on how to move into a career in this industry. We want to answer that question, how did they get that job? My name is Hannah Mohelnitzky, City of Madison Engineering Division, Public Information Officer. I lead communications for our division, which includes about 7 or 8 main sections. And I also get to know all of our staff, our sections, and our managers, which is where this idea for this segment came from. So many awesome journeys and paths and stories, and we want to share them with you. Today, we are hosting one of our Streets and Paths design engineers, Fadi El Musa. Thank you for coming, Fadi.
Thank you for having me.
I didn't scare you away. I'm getting people to come on to the podcast, and this is good. This is good because, you know, every journey and every story is hopefully going to help somebody maybe making their decisions in their career. And so, again, we just kind of want to walk through that. So first things first, let's establish for anybody who's listening, Fadi, your official title is an engineer in our Streets and Paths design section of the City of Madison Engineering Division. Can you just break that down? What do you actually do, in your words?
Okay, so once a project scope is determined, the middle of the year, I believe, and all the budget has been approved, I see a list of projects and I pretty much identify which ones are mine. Basically, I do a research. What's the condition of the street? Understanding what's the scope of the work, what's going to happen, what are the goals of the end product of that work. Basically, I do some research. Who's going to be working on within the team? Who's going to be the designers and all of that. Check if a survey was made. So basically, all that information, it's put together, and we start from there. We identify problems, issues, and basically we do a design work based on that. Also, one of my functions is as a project manager. Basically, we have public informational meetings in which we have some engagement with the public. We take the project to the committees for approval. So a combination of all of that, we work on the design, we get it complete, we send it off for bids, it's constructed, we oversee parts of the work until it's completed, and hopefully everything went okay. People can enjoy the final product, so that's pretty much it.
Yes. Oh, that's just pretty much it. That's quite the process, but it's important. Yes. It's important to note and lay that ground foundation of our conversation today. So, did you always know you wanted to do this? Let's start at the beginning, growing up. Young little Fadi, tell us a little bit where your journey begins.
Oh, God.
How much time do we have? No.
Yeah.
Please, let's lay it out and get into it.
I'll try to make it quick.
No, don't.
It's a long story.
Okay.
So I know when I was a kid, basically, I was looking for something to do when I grew up. For some reason, civil engineering caught my attention. Didn't know what that meant. It was structural, it was transportation. I don't know. I just wanted to be a civil engineer.
When you were really young?
I'm going to say 10 or 12.
Really?
I know, yeah.
That
crazy.
Young, Fadi? And where did you grow up?
I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, in a town called Ponce.
How big is the town? Population?
I'm going to say, oh my God, if somebody from Puerto Rico hears this and I messed it up, they're going to criticize me. But I'm going to say it's like the second biggest town.
Sure.
San Juan is the capital. It's on the north. Ponce is on the south side of the island. So basically, I grew up there with my parents. I'm the only kid of the marriage. Again, civil engineering caught my attention. I don't know why. I saw houses built, and I said, I would like to get some of that stuff done. eventually.
I want to do that.
I want to
Yes.
do that.
Yes.
So then I went to a school, and for my high school, I went to a vocational school. I think that's the terminology here. So basically, I went to a architectural drawing section there. So I really liked it. So that confirmed that I was on the right path because I enjoy taking those classes and doing that work.
And that was in high school?
In high school, correct.
Sure. Okay.
So that was one of the reasons why I applied for that school. It's a public school in Ponce.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I applied for the University of Puerto Rico in Mayagüez. So that's the public university there, and that's a school in which it's recognized for the engineering program. That was my goal: get there and graduate from that university. That was something that I always thought about.
Well, pause right there for a moment,
Yes.
if you could. For the high school, when you said you applied for it was a specialized high school. Is that how it works, or what? Can you explain that just a little bit more?
The purpose of that school is it's called vocational school. I don't know the terminology in English if that's the correct terminology, but basically, people in high school go through some of that work. It has a variety of sections. For example, plumbing, electricity, electric work.
Right. Yeah.
So the goal of that school is that once you graduate, you can go and have a job.
Sure.
That's the thing. You don't have to go to college. You'll be prepared enough that you can do a work. But when I did, I was able to do to be a draftsman when I graduated from that school. But again, I wanted to pursue a career in civil engineering, so then I applied to school.
Sure. So then you went to college.
Then I went to college.
And how'd that go? Was it hard? Was it easy? What was it? What was college Fadi like?
Oh, it was good.
Trying to learn your craft.
Correct. It was difficult. I'm not gonna lie about it.
That's what don't worry. Everyone has said.
Yeah.
But I mean, for some people it is easy. I don't know who that is out there. But I think whatever you want to do, whenever you want to be passionate about something, it's going to be hard if you want to truly be great at it.
That's a good point.
So we'll just go with that. But
I agree.
Yes, but what was it like for you? And were there any hard moments where you were thinking, should I do this? Should I not? Anything you pushed through?
I'm gonna say the math part of it was tough.
Yeah.
The calculus part, it was a war. I'm gonna leave it. Wasn't easy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I liked it. So that university is in a town called Mayagüez. So that's on the west side of Puerto Rico. I don't like to brag about it, but I think that's one of the best universities in the world. And definitely for engineering, that was a great school. I think that's the best in the island.
What makes it so good, in your opinion?
It's a public school, so to get there, there's some high standards to get into that school, and that's the work you did in high school, plus your SATs and all of that. So it's competitive because a lot of people want to go there. It's cheap. I was paying $35 for credit.
That's amazing.
Exactly, and the civil engineering program was accredited by ABET, I believe that's the way you say it. So it's the Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology. So the combination of all those things made it perfect, and I think that if somebody is interested into getting into engineering in Puerto Rico, that's their goal, to get into that school.
Different country, different. I mean, for some perspective. I mean, obviously, we hear all sorts of prices for different credits and degrees and everything nowadays. But just for some perspective, obviously, every country is different, the way that they build everything and how much everything is and everything like that. So let's continue.
Sure.
So from there, Fadi, you made it through college.
I did.
So Fadi makes it through college, flying colors. And how many years was that in college?
Gonna say 6.
Sure.
The program there basically covers all the civil engineering areas. So basically structural, water resources, transportation, geotechnical engineering, structural analysis. So I don't know how it's here, but I know so that the combination of all of those things made the program a little bit longer than what it typically is.
And then from there, you started applying for jobs, or what went on after that?
So when I graduated, I was happy for a moment that I accomplished that.
Yes.
So then I quickly realized that I needed a job. Basically, I took some time to take the fundamentals of engineering exam. So that's the FE exam. I passed it, which made me very very happy. But then I started to look for a job. Back then in Puerto Rico, it was very tough for a young engineer like me, recent graduate without a lot of experience, to find a job. And I realized that very quickly that that wasn't going to work. I don't know, maybe it's the economy. Not sure. I'm assuming it's a variety of things happening at that time. I don't know if it has improved or anything. I haven't been paying attention to what the job market for civil engineers is currently. But I realized either I work on something else that's not related to my profession, or I needed to get out.
Oof,
so
that's a big decision.
It was. I didn't want to leave my country. That was a tough one. So at the time, and here's a nice part of the story that I did not talk about. So I met someone at college.
Sure.
So her name is Gretchen. She's my partner. We are still together. We both graduated from college at the same time. She's also a civil engineer.
At your college?
Correct.
I'm learning new things right now. Okay, because I know. Okay.
It's kind of fun.
Yes.
So, and that's destiny. So after we graduated, and we both took our FE exam, the exam that I talked to you a few minutes ago, she called me one day and she told me that she found a job description that she fell in love with, and she really wanted to apply for that job, and she wanted to travel, and that position basically was a position with the traffic engineering division here.
City of Madison.
City of Madison.
City of Madison, Wisconsin, the traffic engineering division, which is separate from the engineering division, but here at the city.
Correct. So at that time, I'm going to say that I have applied all over the country. I applied in Dallas and Maryland, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Sacramento, all over the country, east, west, north, south. But my interviews were by phone. I couldn't afford traveling to every single interview. So, and my English there was not good at all. So I was struggling on those interviews. So I was having no luck. On the other hand, Gretchen is doing the same thing, but she liked the description, so she took a chance and flew here to just do the interview. She did great, and then she got hired. So then she called me and she told me, "Hey, I'm gonna move to Madison, Wisconsin." I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen now?
Right. Gretchen gets the job. Gretchen calls Fadi. Gretchen says, "What are you gonna do, Fadi?"
Okay. We need to evaluate the relationship.
Yes.
Oh my God, she's gonna kill me. She is gonna kill me when she hears this. I'm sorry.
No, this is good because it's relatable. I think a lot of people are at that point after they go through their schooling and maybe they do find their life partner or their partner at the time, and you know, you do have to make those big decisions. And sometimes that involves moving, sometimes that means flying, sometimes that means long distance, and the human part of this is supposed to be relatable, and I think that continue. You got me on the edge of my seat, Fadi. I want to know what happens next.
Yeah. So
what do you do? She gets the job. Then what?
She gets the job. So I kept looking on my job search, and at some point I focused on Madison, not the city, but just Madison. And I applied for a couple of positions with the city, not the one that I'm currently on. and I got contact that I was gonna get an opportunity to be at an interview.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, what should I do? Phone is not working.
Mm-hmm.
By that time, Skype, I don't think was as
Yeah.
huge as it is now after the pandemic. So I said, okay, I'm gonna travel there. I'm gonna do the interview in person. We'll see how it goes. It was awful. I did not get it. But
Fadi,
I know.
no. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So then what?
So then
Was it with the city or was it
it
just...
was with the city.
Okay, and
But
it didn't go well.
It did not go well.
Okay.
At this point, I'm applying with the state, with the DOT, with the DNR, with the Department of Natural Resources, with private companies. And the chance was not really there. I'm like, oh my God, I just need a chance. I just need a break, and and I'll take care of the rest. So another position got open with the city.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied for that one, and I interview in person.
Mm-hmm.
If that was the make or break thing, if that didn't work, I think I was gonna return back to Puerto Rico and continue my job search from there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I did a decent job on the interview.
Okay. Was it with the engineering division?
It was within the engineering division.
Mm-hmm.
The position was a transportation position, so streets and paths design.
Sure.
So that one I did not get. But an opening was available for a sewers designer.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew a little bit about sewers from college. That's the part that interested me the most in college. So I was okay. I took the offer. It was an hourly position, and all I needed is a break. And I in my head, give me a break, and I'll take care of the rest. And that's pretty much how I got into the city.
Wow. So if you could pinpoint, on that first interview that you did, and maybe some of the others, well, specifically for the city, because why was it the language barrier that you were trying to navigate through, or was it anything else, or were you just not ready at that point? What do you think it was? Because I think your persistence and your trying again and everything like that, I think is really, it's obviously speaks to your hard work, Fadi, and just give me a break and I'll take care of the rest. I love that. Because I think a lot of people are in the same spot there. If you do get that first one and you're like, God, I didn't do that. I bombed that interview. Or not saying that you did that, but you didn't do well. That's what, your words of, saying that the first one didn't go as well as you had hoped. And then you try again. And then, and it might not even be the actual position that you thought you would be doing. Sure. But it ends up being something that really opens up to your wonderful career here now. I guess, what was it that was hard for you, and how did you get through it? Because you did get the job eventually.
I did eventually. So I think it's a combination. To me, language barrier, it was more of a mental thing. Sure. Because I in college, the books and all of that was in English, because you need to meet the USA standards and codes for design, because Puerto Rico is kind of a part of the United States. So it wasn't entirely different. So I could understand when somebody spoke to me in English. The problem is that I was too nervous, especially in an interview, because you're putting a lot of things on the line. And the combination of nervous and not feeling confident about it and inexperience, that's the thing. When you go to an interview, and this is my opinion, you think that people want you to have experience at something so you can get into the job and produce as fast as possible, so the transition space it's as minimal as possible. So I on the first interview, the job description did not meet my how can I say it, my profession or my what I learned in school. It was enough to get me through the filters of human resources. But I do recognize that a lot of people were more compatible with the job description that they were looking at that time. So the combination of those things made the interview not too good for me, right?
We've all had them, Fadi. We've all had those interviews where you're like, wow, oofda. I probably could do a little better or something along those lines. But I feel you on that. I think a lot of people do.
In my mind, I could do anything because I know I'm a hard worker. I know that if a challenge is ahead of me, I'll do everything possible. I'll put up the work to know, to learn. So that's why I applied for that position, because that's not relatable to me or my skills, but I can learn it.
Right.
But then a different position opened, and that was more compatible to my skills and my knowledge from school. So then I'm okay, this is a better option and a better opportunity. So I'll try to make the best out of it, and it paid off. So.
Oh, what an awesome journey. So happy to work with you every day, Fadi. And I'm sure Gretchen's glad you got the job too.
She wasn't sad about it.
I think, thank you so much for sharing all of your parts of your story here today. And last question for you, because we're out of time. Any advice anyone gave you during the process? Anyone specific that really kind of made or break moments that kind of helped you guide through and grind through a hard decision?
I would say keep trying something. Sometimes things are not going to go your way, and I can say do not get discouraged. And one thing it's saying it, and another thing it's doing it. Right? It's not easy, and it's easy to get discouraged and feel bad about something. But keep trying. I can say for myself, I'm happy working here. It was a good opportunity, and I took advantage of it. And so far, so good. So yeah. I don't know what else to add.
That's it. Happily ever after.
Yeah,
we're
it. Good.
That's the story. Fadi, thank you. Hopefully your journey helps somebody else who's working through their journey as well, and hopefully can help provide some peace of mind knowing that if you don't get that first job, you keep applying, keep applying.
Of course.
And some good ideas sometimes happen from people who love us most.
Hard work is going to pay off.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's going to pay off.
Yes. We will continue to thank you, Fadi. We will
Thank
continue
you.
to feature more coworkers in our more episodes on Everyday Engineering. We're going to try to continue that question. How did they get that job? It's simple. Just check out their life blueprint so far. That's it for us. Thanks for listening. We're always here for you every day in engineering.